Good evening, I'm Bo Williams and welcome to the 7. Let's get a big look at the top 7 stories right now. And topping the list for us tonight, the Boys and Girls Clubs of the Tennessee Valley trying to navigate the uncertainty of federal funding cuts while also trying to expand. While many Boys and Girls Club locations partner with schools and community spaces to provide services, its Rocky Top Club does not have such a partnership. Well, today the organization told us it remains confident it can adjust to potential federal funding cuts in the long term, but there's short-term uncertainty. The plan right now is to continue to expand into rural communities, partnering with local schools and community centers to keep costs down, and also taking buildings like the one in Anderson County and turning them into spaces where kids can grow.
We could either serve more children here, or we can take the time to really just enhance the grounds and be able to offer more programming services for our youth. Sometimes a lot of people think that we only serve urban areas, but this is a prime example of how we do not. We also are trying to reach out to rural and also suburban areas as well.
And right now, at a time where there's funding instability, there's uncertainty at the federal level, it really gives us a more sustainable, efficient model to help us ensure that kids are going to be served now and well into the future.
Right now, the Boys and Girls Club of the Tennessee Valley serves Blount, Anderson, Claiborne, Loudoun, and Knox counties. By the end of the year, it plans to open a public housing site in Campbell County. Speaking of federal cuts, in our next Big 7 story, we're seeing more local opposition. Campus workers, students, community members held a rally at the University of Tennessee. Organizers say the goal here is to raise awareness about the impacts of federal funding cuts and to put pressure on lawmakers to push back against them. Now, we have been telling you about sweeping federal cuts, including cuts to the Department of Education, and today people made their voices heard.
We're fighting for our students. We're fighting for ourselves as workers who our whole purpose is to help students learn. And I think that that's one of the best ways that we can do this is be together in the sunlight, in the daylight, to support each other and to support our students in coming here to get the education that they need.
Department of Government Efficiency, meanwhile, has defended recent cuts, saying they have saved billions of dollars in taxpayer money. Now, a big milestone for the new home of the Knoxville Smokies. We're just a week away from the first pitch at Covenant Health Park, the new multi-use stadium at the edge of the old city. Just in the last couple of hours, the Smokies unveiling 7 new statues for Giants Plaza, a tribute to the city's Negro League baseball team. As for the stadium itself, we're told there isn't much left to do ahead of the big day. Stadium workers, from concessions to ticketing, have been preparing to welcome in all the fans. Now, we recently had the opportunity to speak with Randy Boyd while we were taping an episode of Tennessee This Week. The stadium, of course, would not have been built without him. And I asked him about preserving Knoxville's baseball history at the new facility. You're a stone's throw from where Bill Meyer was at one point, and you're really not that far. Unfortunately, there's really nothing left where the Knoxville Black Giants played in the Negro Leagues, but you're near that area as well. So this is really kind of, if you talk history and baseball in Knoxville, where the stadium is located, it's just another chapter in all of that.
I think fans are going to be thrilled when they come to the stadium and see how we're celebrating our history. And we've had a lot of help from people like Renee Kessler at the Beck Cultural Center. Right. But we're going to have statues and other markers that remind us of the history of that community and of baseball in that community, of the Knoxville Giants.
My conversation about the new multi-use stadium with Randy Boyd continues Sunday morning at 9:30 on Tennessee This Week, ahead of next week's home opener. And if you don't have tickets to next Tuesday's home opener, you are in luck. We will broadcast the Knoxville Smokies' first game at Covenant Health Park right here on WATE 6. Pre-game coverage starts for you April 15th. That's a Tuesday at 7 o'clock. It leads up to the first pitch. And again, you will be able to watch it all right here on WATE. Next on our big story list for you, we're learning about 2 lawsuits aimed at a project which would convert an old rail line to a walking trail through South Knoxville's Island Home neighborhood. While it sounds like the sort of idea that few might object to, there's an effort being put together to make sure neighbors get paid. According to a complaint filed in federal court, property along the rail line includes easements which were granted to the railroad many years ago. When the line fell into disuse, attorneys for the plaintiffs argue that the easement's rights should have gone back to the property owners. And if the line is converted into a trail, the federal government should pay the owners for those portions of land. The city of Knoxville announced the project at the end of December, working to connect Chapman Highway with IAMS Nature Center. We'll, of course, let you know what happens next with this lawsuit. Well, a big find and several arrests in our next Big 7 story for you tonight. And while the picture put out by McMinn County Sheriff's deputies looks quite dramatic, turns out these are actually airsoft guns, which McMinn County deputies say were stolen from an airsoft business. That business, Sweetwater Airsoft, which is located on County Road 275. Sheriff's Office says the burglary suspects were arrested early Monday morning. Now, 2 of the suspects were found in a pickup. The other 3 were found on the property. We're told they range in age from 17 to 24. Sheriff's Office says some of the airsoft guns, as well as other accessories, were found hidden in the woods nearby. Deputies were able to find the other guns at the homes of 2 of the suspects. Now, they have been returned to the business. Charges range from theft to conspiracy to commit burglary. Well, the season is starting for a big driver of the area tourism industry. Rafting season is here, and the businesses which guide people down East Tennessee waterways hope damage done by the remnants of Hurricane Helene won't keep visitors away. You probably remember the town of Hartford saw devastating floods. River rat tubing and whitewater rafting, like other businesses, sustained costly damage. Well, today the business tells us that despite the challenges it faces, River Rat made sure it would be ready for spring.
As far as the recovery goes, pretty much as soon as this road was traversable, basically day one, we had contractors lined up, we were already ready, and we had everything lined up. And so basically it was all hands on deck, full recovery scale. So yeah, so we benefited from the fact that we were one of the quickest to recover from it, just honestly based on response time.
River Rat Tubing and Rafting credits the Tennessee Emergency Management Agency for helping the town in its cleanup efforts. Gathering Place, a big piece of public artwork, now open in downtown Knoxville. If you have been in downtown lately, you may have seen the unusual sculpture right off of Gay Street. The city tells us the fencing around Cradle of Country Music Park came down late last week. The $1.2 million transformation has been around 6 years in the making. It is located in a triangular-shaped sloping green space at Gay Street and Summit Hill Drive. Now, the area, by the way, has been home to several small pieces of art in the past.